Hi YouTube. Right, quick video. I had a question posted by Steve about my drone after I filmed a bit of the river. So I thought I'd do a video for you. It's really hot today. It's been about 33 degrees, maybe more than that, in the sun up here today. So it's pretty sticky. Anyway, that being aside, he wanted to know about my drone, so let's get into it. Right then guys, this is what it is. Now I've got the Xiaomi 4K Mi drone, and I have to say I'm really pleased with it. Saw a lot of negative reviews, people complaining about certain aspects of it, but to be honest, I've had no problems at all. The only, well, that's a lie. The one problem I have is with the compass. Now the GPS kind of compass is in the leg, one of the legs, and what I've found is a lot of times you put it down on the ground and you go into the app to fly and it says cannot take off, compass interfered with, and that happens pretty much every time you try and take off. There's a simple fix, and it's to pick it up and turn it round, and 9 times out of 10 that'll work. Failing that, you move half a metre and do it again, and it'll work. Yeah, it's a little bit of a nuisance when you have to keep doing it, but it's 30 seconds out of your life, so it really isn't the end of the world. But he wanted to know about the drone and what I use, so here we go. So like I say, it's the Mi drone, and being the 4K version, this has got like nice gold accents on it, on the tops of 2 of the props. They're colour coded so you can't get them around the wrong way, and then you got some gold bits underneath and on the camera, which I'll show you in a sec. But it's pretty big as well. I think it's bigger than the DJI Phantom line of drones. This one's, I think, 430mm, just over, across the diagonal, so it's quite big. Weighs, what did it weigh? Almost 1.4 kilos. Yeah, so 1,400 and something grams. I think might even be a little bit more than that. It's under 2,000 grams just. However, it still falls in the heavy category when the new rules come in January, which means I'll probably have to pay a fee to fly it properly, unless I can figure out some way of getting around that. There might be a way of doing it. The one thing I like about this drone is the top of it. It's really flat. There's no kind of shaping to it, so it means I can mount my 360 camera really well on the top. I've even flown it with a mini selfie stick up to like here with my camera on the top. It's that stable, with no tipping over or anything. It's absolutely stable as anything, and I think that's partly due to the size of it. Now the camera, I'll tilt this up a little bit. Like I say, it's 4K. You can buy these aftermarket things off of eBay, just to cover the camera, keep it safe in transit. But the camera itself is nice. This comes off, the whole thing, the gimbal as well, just unclips for storage. But also you can buy, for the camera itself, this part, so from that where it goes round basically and down, you can buy a handheld gimbal for not a lot of money, under €100, which you mount the camera on top and use it like a normal camera, which I think is a very good idea, very good design. SD card slot on the back, under there, just here. That's a fan, and then you have a USB port there for updates and all that jazz. And I think you can download directly from the camera, so you don't have to take the card out every time. It's quite awkward doing it one-handed because this moves around a lot. Now the other issue, you know, this is an honest review, so I've had this drone now for must be over a year now. So it's an honest review. The other issue and most people that have got this drone have had is the camera gimbal when you film is kind of on the wonk. Only ever so slightly, but it's very annoying. There is a very easy fix for that. I won't go into it unless someone actually messages me and asks me to do it, but it's a very simple process and takes about 5 minutes, so you can get perfect shots after it. Battery is pretty big. They give you about 25 minutes flight time in good conditions. If it's overly windy, then you're looking maybe 20 to 22 minutes. I've got 3 batteries. It's good to have spares. So, you know, if I go out for a day and I want to do some filming, I can get a good hour and just over an hour of filming in before they'll run out of power. Controllers are nice, soft rubberized grips, pretty light. You know, usual stuff. You've got 2 buttons on the back, one for the movie or film, and one for static photographs. Got a return to home function, so if you're flying and you can't be bothered to fly it back or whatever, you can just switch that and it will fly back on its own. Power on and battery indicator. It's all charged via USB under here, so there's no batteries in it particularly. Obviously they're built in. This is auto launch and land. Yeah, self-explanatory really. You have a dial here, that's to tilt your camera up and down, and it is full range, so it will point straight down and vertical. Sorry, vertical and horizontal. And then on the right hand side is another dial which is you can set for different functions. You can have it change the white balance. I think you can change the lights, because underneath you have your flight lights, so in each leg these are lights, and the front flashes green I believe and red for the back. Never actually paid much attention, probably should. Back to the controller, you've got this little loop on the front, that's for hanging, you know, your neck cord on. Yeah, that's it really. Flight speed 18 meters a second. Once you've gone through beginner mode, you can switch beginner mode off I think straight away, but they recommend you practice with that first, which is not a bad idea actually. And then yeah, you can then remove the flight heights and distances limits, which I wouldn't recommend doing, because if you get caught flying beyond what's legal in your country, it's, you know, they're pretty stroppy about that these days. So my one's set to 120 meters maximum vertical and 120 meters maximum horizontal, and I always fly in sight of it anyway. I don't take my eyes off it, purely because I'm paranoid about losing it. But it's very good. What I do like about it, like with all the other drones, you set the heights for return to home, so if it loses its signal it will just come back. But you have to remember that if you're flying in an area like where I live, where there's a lot of tall trees, if you set the return to home flight for 10 foot or 10 meters, chances are you're going to stack it into a tree. So yeah, you set your return height to suit your environment. It doesn't have anti-collision, so obviously if there's trees and buildings, then you're more than likely going to fly into something anyway, unless you set the height high enough. Yeah, just bear that in mind. So there you go, Steve. I hope that answered your question. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what you wanted to know. If not, fire me another question, I'll answer it if I can. And yeah, but I really like the drones. Just bear in mind that come January of 2021, the rules will change. Throughout Europe, it was supposed to have changed already, but because of the pandemic, they've put it back, but it will change, and it's something we have to be aware of. You know, it's no hardship doing a few online courses. You know, if you really are interested in flying drones, what's the problem? Just get on with it. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, I'll let you get back to it, and see you all soon. Take care. Bye.